Good afternoon. Now that was pretty bad for a black church. Y'all got to do better. Good afternoon. What a joy it is for me to welcome all of you here today. I want to apologize. I preach against hell, and it's almost as hot as hell in here right now. I don't know what we're putting in new air conditioning, and I don't know if they're up on the roof working or if somebody has sabotaged it and feel like we need to be punished. But get comfortable, please relax. I promise, now this won't mean much coming from a black preacher, but I won't keep you long. I promise that today. Let me, though, seriously welcome you to First Church, to welcome you to what we affectionately call the City of Refuge. And it is really what we have sought to be, not just since we purchased this land, 124 acres, a little over 25 years ago. We dubbed ourselves the City of Refuge, but we really sought to do that on the corner of Wilson and Fair, on the Near East side of Columbus. Our programming, our outreach, everything we did, including our worship, was geared towards uplifting that community. In fact, I often tell people we didn't run from the Near East Side. We didn't run from Wilson and Fair. In some ways, we got chased out of there because our church was growing so much. We were taking over parking. We were buying houses to try to find and create parking, and we didn't want to decimate a community that we greatly loved. It was only because of that that we moved here to Refugee Road. But we made a commitment that no matter where we were geographically, the vision and the heart and the passion and the commitment would not change even though our address changed. Our heart would stay the same. And we really saw the purchasing of this property not as something for us, but something for us to do for this city. We tried to uplift a community at Wilson and Fair. On this property, we've tried to uplift the city. And today, you get to be a part of what I think, and I may be a little prejudiced, what I think is going to be one of the most significant events in the life not only of our city. I've said this to our mayor, and I've said it to President Harrison. With all this going on, the burgeoning growth in this area, Intel and everything else, Columbus becomes, I think, in so many ways, the center of this region. And we will get to impact this region. It gets better. We will get to impact several generations. And I don't know about you. You may not think about it, but generational impact is one of the most powerful things that anyone could be involved in because it lasts after we're gone. There's a word for it, John: legacy. And that's what we get to leave today. So I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited to partner with those two men over there. You can't tell it. We are triplets separated at birth. And they have become even more brothers to me than in the beginning before this happened. Let me ask the members of the team, because nothing happens without collaborative effort and people working behind the scenes. With all of the members of Columbus State, First Church, and the city, you worked on this project and made it happen. Would you stand? Members of our trustee board, members of President Harris, and members of the city project. Come on, we celebrate them. The rest of y'all wave your hand, because some of the Columbus State folk are standing up. They couldn't get seats. I'm glad that I get to introduce this next gentleman because he has made such an impact, Bush Street. He's made such an impact on this city in so many wonderful ways. You already know him, and I'm grateful to God for him, and I'm going to ask you to welcome warmly our mayor, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, he's our mayor. Welcome our mayor, Mayor Andrew J. Ginther. Love you.
You'll hear more about this, Bishop, on Thursday. We gather with U.S. Conference of Mayors, but former mayor of Pittsburgh, you say there are three kinds of folks in America: Republicans, Democrats, and mayors. Because there's not a Republican way or a Democratic way to pick up the trash, plow the streets, create jobs, and get bright, flourishing communities to thrive together. Bishop, thank you. One of the first times I met you, you were officiating at the wedding of Herschel and Linda Craig at the corner of Wilson and Fair. Now, Bishop was only 6 at the time. He was a childhood prodigy.
And he's still older.
But it is so good to be with you and President Harrison, the congregation of First Church, Columbus State, Representative Humphrey, Senator Craig, Commissioner O'Grady. This is an exciting time. Talked to some of our friends, neighborhood leaders that have been working so hard on the Eastland Community Plan and have been incredible community leaders in our neighborhoods throughout our city for so long. And I was talking to Matt on the way in. I said, it's so exciting when folks who have put so much into this neighborhood and neighborhoods around our city, they're actively engaged in community planning processes that know it's not just going to be a plan that sits on a shelf somewhere. There's action. There's an investment. And when you take a look at the One Linden plan, being able to generate nearly $200 million, public and private and otherwise, into realizing that One Linden plan, already at $150 million in the envisioned Hilltop plan, and all of the incredible investments and incredible opportunities that this Eastland Community Plan is already bearing fruit on. I am so excited. This moment represents a critical juncture for the rebirth and revitalization of our Eastland neighborhood in particular. Now is the time to envision a new and brighter future for this area, one that is equitable, prosperous for each and every resident. The Eastland Community Plan that we're developing is resident-driven and focused on the future. I'm truly excited to see it continue to come together. And it will be such an important part. Because when I talk to public and private and philanthropic leaders, they want to know what the plan is. Where's the blueprint? Where is their community buy-in and commitment? And when I take them these plans, they make such a huge difference because they help to organize and really get folks engaged and investing in what the people-driven processes have put forth. We launched the planning process for Eastland last August. Expected it'll take approximately 16 months to complete. We're aiming to have everything wrapped up and ready to be unveiled to the community by the end of this year. Experience has taught us that it takes everyone, residents, government, colleges, businesses, and nonprofits alike, to bring about positive community change. And that's why we're so excited for today's announcement. This is an amazing opportunity for us to give people in our community transformational job training experience so they can take advantage of the jobs that are being created by Intel, Honda, and all of their suppliers. Bishop said it best. Regions are what are going to shape the future. Not cities and suburbs and exurban, but regions. And for us to own the future, we have to continue to grow and lead regionally, always through the lens of equity, because it's critically important that we realize that with all of the great success we've had in this region. Some of our neighbors have been left out and left behind, and we know that's not sustainable for the future and the prosperity we seek. Investing in workforce development ensures the long-term sustainability of local businesses and economies, and it helps organizations build a pipeline of skilled talent, promoting upward mobility for their employees and minimizing turnover. Nobody, I would argue, does public-private partnerships better than we do here in Columbus. It is the Columbus way. And Bishop Clark and President Harrison have been part of so many of these partnerships throughout the years. So I want to thank First Church in Columbus State for continuing to shine a light and offer example to all of us on how much more we can achieve together when we focus on people, when we focus on neighborhoods, and we focus on opportunity. We're looking forward to watching this partnership continue to bear fruit and make a meaningful difference in the lives of our residents. And now, it's my honor to introduce a great partner, a great friend, a great leader. I'm a little biased, but I think the best community college president in America, President David Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor Ginther. Thank you all for being here. This is an enormous deal, and we're thrilled to be part of it. We're still learning about each other and kind of how to work together. And one thing that Bishop doesn't know yet is that we look at this whole community as a classroom, as a laboratory for our students. So the heat that you're feeling right now, one of the programs that's coming out here is our HVAC program. It's a job opportunity for our students right here. We're living it and breathing it. We always start with gratitude at Columbus State, and I'm going to do that here. I want to thank Bishop and his team and his congregation. I say all the time, I get a lot of work done with text messages and 10-minute phone calls, and we've had a bunch of both of those the last year and a half getting to today. But it's those kinds of relationships that really build on the public-private partnership ethos that the mayor talked about. And I think you're going to see that come to life in the short term and absolutely in the long term. So Bishop, thank you so much. I want to thank Mayor Ginther and all of the city's leadership, certainly for their support of this project, but for, again, the foundation that they've laid to make these kinds of things easier than you think they are. You stay at the table, you got a shared vision, and you shouldn't be surprised at what you're able to accomplish. But when I go around the country and talk to my colleagues, I'm like, wait a minute, you did what with who and what period of time? And we repeat that over and over again. Want to thank our other elected leaders, Commissioner O'Grady, Representative Humphrey, Columbus State grad, Representative Humphrey. And Senator Craig, the partnership ethos absolutely extends through the state and the county, and the ability to continue to connect these dots is something that we're proud of. And I really want to give personal thanks to the residents of Franklin County. But for our success at the ballot in 2020 with our bond issue, this doesn't happen. And we never lose sight of that, and are always trying to make sure that our residents see this as a good investment and return on that investment. I want to thank Commissioner O'Grady for being a real advisor through that process and helping to make this happen. This is going to have incredible regional impact and incredible local impact. So the programs that we're moving here are destination programs. So all of our construction programs, all of our first responder programs, students from throughout Central Ohio who choose those career paths are going to be educated here. And that matters. That really gives us a center of gravity, certainly for this campus, but also for the entire community. The focus on a career development center is something that we are intentional about. This is an opportunity for students to understand and have a great line of sight in good jobs, sustainable careers, and opportunities, economic opportunities that can truly change the trajectory of families. Not to mention bring energy in areas that we need it the most. I remember one of our early conversations with the First Church team, Ted Murdaugh made sure I knew that Intel was 17 miles from here. So when we talk about the construction work and who knows where this is going to lead, that's going to make a huge difference. We're also excited about the local impact that this can have. And the proximity of where we are, the partnership with First Church in the city is something that we really feel compelled to build on. As Bishop said, this is generational, and we want to listen intently to the community, really understand how we can leverage the steps we're taking, the things we know we need to do. How can we think bigger and more strategic and more impactfully in the community? The fact that the city is focusing on the Eastland area as part of their planning work is something that we want to fully engage in. I met with Matt Habash last week, and we know the Mid-Ohio Food Collective it has a prominent presence now on the other side of Eastland Mall. Matt and I have already talked about us being bookends of the Eastland community and making sure that we are collaborating to include everybody and to do some things together that we couldn't do separately. I'm excited, as you can tell, but this is a big deal, and it's not something that we take for granted. I started with gratitude. I'm going to end with gratitude. I want to thank our team, most of whom didn't stand up when Bishop asked them to. You're going to answer for that. But this kind of stuff isn't easy, and everybody who's been involved in this has a day job. So when they're coming into something that's ambiguous and a partnership that in the early stages may or may not happen, and they're leaning into it, they're not doing it because I asked them to do it. They're doing it because they believe in it. And our folks are excited to get started. And we know, I shouldn't say get started, we've been started for a while. But the connectivity with the First Church team and the city's team and the community is something that I think we can all feel good about. This is in good hands. So thank you for being here and for helping us celebrate. It's now my great honor to introduce a great leader and great friend, Senator Herschel Craig.
The book of Micah lifts this query. It raises this interrogative: what does the Lord require of thee, Bishop? The word comes back to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before the Lord. Good afternoon. Let me move very quickly and say this. I did that because I just need to say to you, and I have prepared remarks, and I'm going to move quickly, but I want to have you thank my bishop, because he is one, and I can tell you categorically and just unabashedly how much he cares deeply for the families of this city and this nation. He goes all over this nation to make sure that there's equity and equality. What this means for us, and there's no accident. God is an intentional God, and I think the work, the transformational work that will happen here at First Church of God, and if you only know, we have a school there, we have a health center right across the street here, how much he cares personally and insists that the congregation is involved and committed and engaged in the work. Would you honor him with applause right now? All that he does. Certainly want to thank my dear friend, the mayor, and love him dearly, and my good friend John O'Grady. At my birthday, and I turned 75, John O'Grady brought a bag of $75 candy for me. I can't eat sweets no more. But I love you all, certainly to Dr. Harrison, to the committee, all of you these community folks, Quay Barnes and I worked at the Berwyn East Civic Association almost 30 years ago. And these folks who work so hard, Alicia, to make sure that on the ground that this community is safe and prosperous. And so I certainly want to thank them for all that they do. I just prepared remarks. I'm going to need to leave immediately after. I'm on the Council of State Governments, have not been here in 70 years. It's here this week. And so I'm on their executive board, and they're here, and they're talking about how much they love this city. These are people from all over the country. And so I just needed to say that parenthetically. But I am State Senator Herschel Craig, proudly representing the 15th Senate District, this is the 15th Senate District. I am honored to join you today for this momentous occasion. The residents of the Eastland community experience higher rates of poverty than many residents in Columbus, with a poverty rate of 13% higher and a median income of 19% lower compared to Columbus. Contributing factors and barriers to success in the area include a lack of nearby living wage jobs and limited access to quality education and training opportunities. Today's announcement of the new Columbus State Development Center marks a transformational opportunity for the Eastland community. This center will redefine education and serve as a cornerstone for Eastland's revitalization plan, offering residents the chance to strive for generations to come. Columbus isn't just growing, it's expanding at an astounding pace. Ohio has become a new hub for companies and professionals alike, with over 5,000 anticipated jobs from major entities such as Bedwest Industries, Facebook, Google, and others, and of course Intel. The strategic location of the Columbus Development Center is poised to support this influx of opportunity with its comprehensive programs ranging from architectural drawings, drafting, to emergency medical services. These initiatives will provide students with the skills needed in today's job market and ensure Eastland is well prepared for Columbus' future. The vitality of this facility we inject into the Eastland community is immeasurable. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mayor Ginther for his steadfast commitment to the Eastland Community Plan, certainly my bishop, for exemplary leadership and partnership, President Harrison for his visionary leadership at Columbus State Community College. Certainly a special thanks, certainly to all of our trustees and folks that have helped to make this vision to a reality. So as your state senator, I take immense pride in the strides being made to enhance Columbus. As an Ohioan, I am thrilled by the prospect that lies ahead for our state. God bless you. I am excited about this. And Larry, Reverend Price, you just may learn something today. God bless you all and have a wonderful day.
Mayors are used to audibles. Please welcome County Commissioner John O'Grady.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Well, you know, as the Mayor said, you know, Bishop was only 6 years old when he married both Herschel and Linda Craig, but there was something that was fully grown that day, and that would be Herschel's mustache. I guarantee you he didn't share it. He didn't share any of that candy I bought him for his birthday either. He didn't give Linda one single piece. And Bishop, it's not too hot in here. It is not. Not at all. It's wonderful to be here tonight. Everybody else can sweat. I'm fine. Representative Humphrey, it's good to see you. So on behalf of my colleagues, Commissioners Boyce and Crowley, the Board of Commissioners is proud of the record that we have of investing in innovative workforce training programs. For us, it's not just about connecting people with available jobs, but helping break down barriers and putting people on career tracks where they can thrive and earn a living wage for our county and as it continues to grow. For years, we've invested in the Building Futures and Driving Futures pre-apprenticeship programs, which have offered exposure to careers in skilled trades and additional wraparound barrier removal services. There's also our National Association of Counties award-winning Roads to Work CDL training program. We aren't just giving folks a chance to drive a rig. We're offering them soft skills training, case management, job placement, and ongoing career coaching, all at no cost. Over the last year, 85 Roads to Work participants obtained their CDL licensure, and with many of them earning average starting wage of $59,000 a year plus. So we've invested over $1.7 million this year to expand the program and train another 150 residents with a focus on low-income and historically underrepresented communities. And as the information technology sector continues to grow in Franklin County and Central Ohio, we're committed to developing the workforce to meet those rising demands. So there is now the new Broadband Futures program, and that's where this comes in. Broadband Futures is a new initiative to provide soft skills training and employment opportunities in the fiber technician field, as well as an ongoing career coaching and along with ongoing coaching and wraparound assistance. Technology businesses like Intel and Amazon and Facebook, with their massive data centers, all rely on fiber optic cable networks, and with Broadband Futures, we're training the fiber technicians responsible for installing and maintaining and repairing critical infrastructure. So we're looking to help close the opportunity gaps while creating the fiber optic networks to better connect communities and grow the local tech sector. This is a very in-demand skill set with competitive wages starting between $22 and $30 an hour. In April, we invested over $550,000 to stand up this new collaboration that will help us place talented and often overlooked residents of Franklin County onto promising bright career tracks. When you add in something like this brand new career development center that we're here to celebrate tonight, it becomes a force multiplier for these existing programs and creates a positive feedback loop. So it's really important to realize that all these investments that we're talking about are collaboration, and it's just meeting employer needs. So, we're just here to help empower all of these neighbors in this community and continue all the work that Bishop Clark, Mayor Ginther, and Dr. Harrison have been working so hard to create, and just here to make sure that we are all the Board of Commissioners is letting this community know how proud we are of the work that these three gentlemen are doing. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Grady. I appreciate you going through the detail of all the workforce work that the county is leading. That makes a huge difference, and our ability to connect with that is going to be important. I'm now delighted to introduce, as I said, esteemed Columbus State grad, Representative Latina Humphrey, who is really making an impact throughout not just her district, but throughout the state. Representative Humphrey.
All right. Well, good afternoon. No, see, I feel like you all could do better than that. I said good afternoon. Amen. That sounds good. Well, as was stated, I am State Representative Latina M. Humphrey. I have the current pleasure of representing Ohio's 2nd House District. So that encompasses the entire east side of Columbus, the entire city of Whitehall. And then I have parts of Reynoldsburg, Blacklick, Canal, Winchester, and Groveport. But I have got to say, y'all, I am over the moon, excited and elated to be here with you all today. But listen, I think it is important for me to say this. This is important. And what I wanted to share with you all is that a community is only as good as its stakeholders. And I'll say that again because maybe some of y'all may have missed it, but a community is only as good as its stakeholders. See, because stakeholders are, and they play a crucial part in the vitality, in the beauty of a community. They push our communities forward. See, they have diverse expectations, diverse perspectives, active collaboration. And see, we couldn't have got to this space and place without community. We couldn't have got to this space and place without stakeholders. So if it hadn't been for First Church of God, if it hadn't been for Columbus State Community College, a city of Columbus, and a greater East Side coalition, we wouldn't be here today. And listen, I gotta say this, we would not be having this conversation if it weren't for these women here who have been actively fighting for this community. So I would like for you all to rise and get your due. Get your due. See, because when I got into office 2 years ago, I made it my priority to fight for the Eastland community. It's no secret, our mayor knows, other electeds know, it has been a priority. But the only way I was able to make it a priority was by listening to these women here, telling me about what was going, I'm getting emotional, going on in our communities, how they felt that there were areas of opportunity, how they felt like, I'm gonna be honest, how they weren't always seen and heard. But we're here because we have great leadership who know how to do something when they hear that there are needs of our communities. But see, I also got to say, I wouldn't be a good state representative if I didn't do my job. A part of my job is to legislate. A part of my job is to provide funding back to organizations. But a big part of my job is to advocate for our community. And so the entire tenure of my term in office, I have been speaking to stakeholders, anyone who would listen, Columbus Partnership, Columbus State Community College, all of these different entities talking about the vibrancy of Columbus or of the Eastland community, because I know that there are areas of opportunity, but there are beautiful people who live in this community and want more. And so I could go on and on about how I feel in the statistics, understanding that my constituents in District 2, the Eastland community, make $15,000 less than the average Ohioan, yet they go to work at the same rate. There are areas of opportunities. But see, it's something about good leaders, something about good leaders who are willing to come together for the benefit of a community. So I could go on and on. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you for caring for our community. Thank you for consistently fighting for our community. But if you didn't know, I am State Representative Latina M. Humphrey. Thank you so much for coming.
There is a thing in the church called preaching without a license. And certainly Representative Humphrey took us to church. She also, but because I love her, I'm going to let her get away with it, she stole my thunder in my own house, because one of the last things I was going to do, because one of the first things I did this morning after meeting with our men for Bible study and at 7, and then a finance meeting, and then staff meeting, one of the next first things I did was to make a call to make sure our community leaders were going to be here. And I said to this person, I won't put them on Front Street, but I will say I said to President Harrison and to the mayor when we were standing there, our community folk are coming, right? Because you give leadership all of the time. And I want you to know, I think we've shown it. I know Deacon Ted and others have been, our chairman of our trustees, come to your meetings. I want you to know how much we respect you, how much we trust you, and how much we want to be good neighbors. So you already stood once, but get exercise. Stand again. Let's give it up for the Mideast Area Commissioners. My first official role in this city was as on the Near East Area Commission, NEAC. That was 100 years ago, John. And so I have a great affinity for our area commissions. I don't see them as, I have some friends who see some of their commissions as troublemakers, but I value you and we value you. So thank you, Representative Humphrey, for reminding us of that and doing that. I'm going to ask, because life is about relationships, stand up, Elder Price, and the reason why I'm going to do that, not to show off your suit, but because about 2 years ago, maybe more, at the Royce, Bud Price called me and said, I want to have lunch with you and President Harrison. I want you to meet him. I didn't have the heart to tell Larry, I already know him. He worshiped with us on Tuesday morning at 6:30 in our men's Bible study. One of our deceased members was on his faculty. He and his wife have been here. But I did it because of Larry Price. And it was at, you probably don't remember, it was at that luncheon that we first started talking. And I said to the president, hey, if that doesn't work out, give me a call. And Larry, I want to thank you for being the person who really brought us together so we could talk about that. Bush Street, stand up. I want you all to meet this young man. Come stand next to me. I don't often let men more handsome than me stand next to me, rob me of my sunshine. This year, when was it? How many weeks ago did you graduate?
Just in May.
In May.
The first
He
week of
graduated first week in May from the Fire Academy, right?
Yes, sir, yep.
And
Columbus
the city of Whitehall and Columbus State, the city of Whitehall came, hired him on the spot at his graduation. And so we are so proud of him. We are so proud of him. Let me get out the way.
Thank you.
Amen. All right, you can move now.
I'm out of it.
He started feeling comfortable behind this pulpit. But that's what we're about. That's what I mean. It's generational. It's the future. I said to First Church Sunday, and I reminded President Harrison, I said, President Harrison and I in a meeting in our boardroom with our two teams, it was getting a little testy in there. And I said, I leaned over to President Harrison, I whispered something to him, and I said, are you with me on this? He said, yeah. I said, I want y'all to hear what I'm about to say. The president and I are old enough now. We've accomplished just about everything we're going to accomplish in life. We have nothing to prove. This is not about us. This is about the future. Now let's get centered. This is about the future. And so to partner with he and the mayor is a wonderful thing. Let me acknowledge, you can sit down, son. Thank you, you did a great job. Yeah. Or you can be my bodyguard. It doesn't matter. But given what happens with the Secret Service lately, I don't know. Let me say that our Congresswoman is not here, but would you celebrate the best Congressperson in the whole wide world, Congresswoman Joyce Beatty? I know she would want to be here. And with all that's going on in D.C., we're praying for her. But I know, and she's been a strong supporter of us behind the scenes and doing everything that she can. Allow me one point of personal privilege. My wife is here. Our one remaining daughter, stand up. First Lady and Jossie, they're both here. Hey, oh, what's that? That's our grandson is on. All right, hi, Pug. All right. Listen, I know it's warm. Let me say to the press, we'll hang around. Mr. Mayor, I know you got a lot going on. Can you hang around for a minute, or do you need to slip right out? Okay, we'll do a few Q&As if you need us to. If not, I understand. Pack up and slip out. We understand. We won't be offended in the least bit. But I hope you sense the heart of what we've tried to say today. I hope you see the breadth of the support and the engagement and the collaboration that's going to make this side better. When your aunt, no, it was your mother, Sister Vicky, and you. What street did y'all live on in those days? Elmreed. When we bought this land, we discovered the largest segment of our population of growth was this zip code. That was close to 30 years ago. We believed in this community then. We could have bought land somewhere else. We could have done what a lot of churches do. We decided to go where our people were and try to meet needs there, and we've tried to be a good neighbor. And I think today is just going to help us do it. I'm excited about it, and I'm glad you came. Let me say thank you. And I do want to say one thing. I told the mayor, I whispered, I'll see you today, I'll see you tomorrow, I'll see him Thursday. Thursday, our mayor becomes the president of the National Mayors Conference, and I am so proud of him. I am so proud, and I'll get to speak at the induction and the ceremony. So I have the privilege of standing between two presidents, and it's a wonderful thing. Let's celebrate both of my brothers, colleagues today. Come on, let's stand. Y'all get out of here. Y'all get out of here. I don't know what your faith tradition is, and so I won't give you the traditional prayer that I do at First Church, but would you allow me to speak this over you? The Lord bless you and the Lord keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you, and the Lord grant you his shalom, his peace. The Lord be with you in your going out and in your coming in your lying down and in your rising up, in your labor, in your leisure, in your laughter and in your tears, until we all stand before him in that day when there is no sunrise and no sunset, just one eternal dawn. Go in peace now, and know the God of peace promises to go with you. Amen.